good evening and welcome to Become a Better Man. My name is Tunde Disu. Thank you for being part of tonight's program. Excuse me. On tonight's program, we are going to be talking about being yourself. Being yourself. Embrace your uniqueness. Being who you are created to be. Embrace what makes you you. Identify it. Celebrate it, embrace it. Make no apologies for it, for that matter. So we're looking at being yourself. Embrace your uniqueness. We are all created in a wonderful and in a fearful way. We are all created with a uniqueness, with something special, with something specific to you and I. And that specificity, that uniqueness is what separates us from all the other people around us and around the world. It is that uniqueness that gives us, that is our identity. It's what separates us. It's what identifies us to be who we are. Not just your name, not just your NI number or social security number or your identity number and every other things that we have regarded these days to be a form of who we are. Not your passport or your driver's license or the country of your birth. No. What makes you special, what makes the uniqueness of you is what makes you you. And it is the identification and the celebration of that uniqueness that will give you all the benefits that life has for you as a person. Unfortunately, most people in this world are born with an original identity, an original uniqueness, an original specialty. But many people die as cheap copies of many other originals. Many people born with a uniqueness, with an identity, but somewhere down the line, somewhere during the journey of life, they lose that identity because they are trying to be like other people. They miss their uniqueness because they are trying to replicate other people in them. The challenge with that is this: for as long as you try to be somebody else, you are jettishing, you are ignoring, you are putting aside your own uniqueness. And irrespective of how much you try, how long you've tried, and for whatever effort you put into becoming that other person, you will never be them. You will never be that man. You will never be that woman. You will never become that celebrity that you are trying to be, or that teacher, or that mentor, or that prophet, or whatever class they are. You will never be them because they are who they are in their uniqueness. And you are who you are in your uniqueness that God has made you to be. 2020 is here. A new year, a new decade, a new opportunity. A new time for a lot of us to begin to embrace, to begin to search for meaning, to begin to ask questions, to begin to dig up old records and trying to identify, trying to find out, trying to establish who we are. What makes you different? What makes you you? Because the race generally is for everybody to try to fit in so that they can get along. We may have boarded the same aircraft. We may be traveling on the same boat. We may be on the same vehicle going towards a certain direction. But irrespective of how loving and cuddling and friendly you become on that journey, when you get to the bus stop or to the train station or to the airport that is closest to your house, you will delight. It will come off. You will step down. You will come out of that aeroplane or come off that taxi or that. You will step down and go towards your house. Because your house is unique to you. Your abode is special to you. That is where you find yourself, not in the house, but at home. The days of just showing up and doing the average work within an average time to produce an average result, nobody is paying attention to them. You know why? Because the world that we live in today, they want people who will embrace what makes them different. There was a time when people frown at you for being different, when people frown at you for displaying a differentiation to who they are or what they think you should be. But nowadays, the world is looking, is searching to embrace people who will know who they are, why they are different, and not be ashamed of their differences. Can I tell you something? You don't make a difference by doing more of the same. If two people are exactly the same, one of them is irrelevant, one of them is not necessary, one of them is occupying space and can easily be gotten rid of, and nobody will miss you. So tonight, change your life. Even if it's the first step towards becoming who you are, or of identifying your uniqueness, what makes you you. Change your life today by understanding that you were not born to fit in. You were not born to fit into a box that somebody else has created, to a mold that somebody else has molded, to an angle that somebody else has put aside. No, you were not born to fit in. You were born to be brilliant by introducing your uniqueness to your world. But it starts with you understanding the truth that you are special, you are unique. There is no two people like you anywhere in the world. What makes you you? What is your uniqueness? Even in a situation where where an identical twins are born on the same day by the same mother and the same father into the same house, wearing the same clothes, eating the same food, doing everything almost together, there is always something about each of them that separates them, that marks them. There's a uniqueness about each of them that the other person can't be and will never be. So if that is the case, even in a situation with identical twins, what about you and I? We were born singularly. Nothing else, nobody else came with us, with just you and yourself, by yourself, with yourself, only yourself. What makes you then think that you have to be like them, like that person, to sound like that person, to act like that person? Now, don't get me wrong, there's a place for being challenged by the qualities that you see in other people, being encouraged by the traits and characters and integrity and truthfulness and thoroughness that you see in other people. There's a place for character development. But when it comes to the person, you are one by yourself. And when you embrace that reality, when you embrace the truth that you are unique, that you are special, and you are not ashamed of your uniqueness, the first thing you will realize is that the idea of trying to fit in and to conform and to be, it just doesn't work for you. It doesn't work with you. You repel it. Because your drive, your pursuit, your focus would be to disrupt your world and go the opposite direction from everybody else, should that be the way your uniqueness is driving you? While everybody is saying this is the way we have always done it, this is the way it can only be done, this is the way it should ever be done. That's the time when you say, excuse me, I have a different opinion here. That's the time you are willing to stand up, to be that odd person and not be ashamed to walk in the opposite direction, not because you are awkward or you are being difficult, but because the mold that has been created is just not for you. You can't fit a round peg into a square hole, and they are trying to force you into this mold, and you say, stop trying. I'm not buying it. There is a uniqueness about me. There's something different about me. That's when you become adventurous with your life. And it is in that adventure that you will find true freedom for your life. Because true freedom is not being a yes person. No. Freedom is saying no to what doesn't work for you, what doesn't fit you, what is not in line with your uniqueness, what does not represent your person. Freedom is being able to say, no, not for me. So instead of saying yes to everything, you only say yes to what would help your uniqueness to emerge, to come to the surface, to blossom, to increase, to develop, to grow. And it is only in that uniqueness that you start to make a difference in life, both in yours and in others. So as we start 2020, as we start this new year and this new decade, as you strive to be different, you want a different story about your life. You want a different report about this year at the end of the year. You want your life this year and this decade to count for something, to make a difference, to establish something, to show you something that is uniquely you. Start thinking and start asking yourself some questions. Start challenging yourself. Start demanding more from yourself than you're currently producing. Because your ability to produce is only limited by your capacity to push. For as long as you are able to push yourself, for as long as you are able to stretch yourself, for as long as you refuse to settle for less, you will always find more somewhere. So ask yourself, what can I do right out of the gate of this new year to set the tone for the rest of my year? To make me different and be authentically myself for the rest of this year. What do I have to do? This is still January. I know everybody have this craze of New Year resolution between the 1st of January to the 5th of January. No, we're still in January. Set the tone for the rest of the year. Set the tone for who you will be, how you will be, where you will be, when you will be for the rest of this year. Ask yourself, where in my life, what aspect of my life, in what area of my existence have I been that cheap copy of other originals? What area have I been mimicking and imitating and pretending to be other people? And how can I begin to use my own original voice so that I can identify what my voice sounds like, what my uniqueness looks like, what my uniqueness feels like? What is it about me so that I can embrace it? But it starts with you saying, enough of these cheap copies that have been over the years. I'm going to just be the original. What area, what sphere, what avenue, what environment, where in my journey do I have to stop following the crowd? When they zag, I zig. When they go right, I go left, if that is what suits my uniqueness. Find a place where you can be by yourself and still be happy with yourself. Happiness is not usually found in the crowd, because everybody may be there, but everybody is there as a person, as a singular person. Ask yourself, have I been embracing what makes me different? Have I even established what is my uniqueness? Because one of the greatest mistakes that we all make, and we're still making, and for ever long people will continue to make, is that when we ask ourselves these questions that are supposed to unwrap and expose and bring to light our uniqueness, we ask the wrong question. We ask questions like, what do I want to be when I grow up? Your teacher will ask you, write a composition, what I would like to be when I grow up. Your parents will sit you down, son, daughter, you're growing older now. What would you like to be when you grow up? Or they will ask you, what's your dream? What's your passion? What's your end goal? Where are you going with your life? As good and as wonderful as those questions are, they are the wrong questions to ask you. Because all of them are pointing to you doing something, rather than being someone, being something, being your unique person. So then you may be asking, so if those questions are wrong, Tunde, then what's the right question? The right question you should ask yourself. The right question I should ask myself. The right question we should pose to our children, our mentees, and everyone. The right question to ask is, what problem am I created to solve? Because we all have a unique ability, and they're not there to be used for Christmas decoration. They're not there for you to hang in your closet. They are specifically given to you. You were born with them because there's a problem in the world that only that uniqueness can solve. So rather than asking, what do I want to be when I grow up? Rather than asking, what's my dream? What's my passion? Where am I going? No, ask yourself, what problem am I created to solve? What solution am I the only carrier that I need to bring forth to this world? Because when you ask this type of question, when you change the formation of the question that you are asking, it will force you to step back. It will force you to have a different perspective of how you look at the word, or the two words, problem solving. Because every time people hear the two words, problem solving or solve a problem, the first thing we start thinking of, I need to fix something. I need to fix something. I need to fix something. No. When you start to ask yourself, what solution am I the only carrier? What am I created to? What problem am I created to solve? You know what will happen? It will be like you are about 30,000 feet above, looking down with an eagle eyes to see. it will be like you looking at 5,000 jigsaw puzzles and you don't even have a picture of what the final product will look like. You are not trying to fix anything. No, you are primarily building something. You are building a solution. You are creating an answer. You are forming a uniqueness. You are bringing to bear your person. You are giving birth to your uniqueness, to your purpose, to the reason that you are created. Because you and I are created for that purpose. So, if you are wondering then, so how do I know what problems I'm created to solve? How will I identify the problems that I am created to solve? Simple. Just consider this nuggets. What is the knowledge? What is the information? What is the wisdom? What is the insight that aligns with your uniqueness, with your person, with your specialty, with what is unique about you, with the ability that you carry? What is that knowledge? What is that information? What is the wisdom that you bring forth every time? Have you met some people? Many of us have seen them, we've been with them, we've lived with them, we've traveled with them, we've spent life with them. There's some people, irrespective of how anonymous, how big and challenging the problem is, and you are pulling out your hair and you are just really almost losing your mind. And as soon as you speak to them, they say, oh, just do this, if you do that. And you're like, Jesus is my Lord. Where did that wisdom come from? How did he just know exactly? Because that's the uniqueness of that person. It's the same thing in art, in every part of human existence. Some people, I heard the story of Stevie Wonders and Paul Crouch. Paul Crouch couldn't read. Imagine this. Shoo. Paul Crouch cannot read because for whatever reason, he can't read. And yet he's one of the best composers, managers, producers, and singers, and everything music-wise you can ever think of. But this is the uniqueness of Paul Crouch. He reads his music notes in colors. When you say do, re, he's in yellow, green. Now, imagine what it will take for him to be able to compose a whole song in colors and play it on the keys without a music sheet in front of him, and all he can think of is colors. I can't even play one note. I don't know where it is on the keyboard. Not to talk of playing a whole chorus that will sing and yet this man had a special uniqueness that he sees music in colors. What is that thing that you are just naturally good at? What do other people, what have they noticed and what are they saying about your uniqueness, about your strength, about your there is something about you. You see what others don't see. And it's not because you are a seer, it's because you have a uniqueness. I read the story of a young man here in London. Very young, maybe about 10, 11, 12 or something like that. Naturally, they said he's dyslexic, so he can't read and all of that. And this guy was flown in an helicopter over the city of London once, one flight. And this guy went home, sat down, and drew the skyline of London without missing nothing. Imagine the parents of that child tie him down in a classroom that you must become an engineer or a doctor or this. They just wasting him. His uniqueness is not in sitting down in the classroom. What is your uniqueness? What is that thing about you that separates you from others? The same business that you are doing is what others are doing. The same line of trade that you are in is what the other person is in. How come they are paying you £15 for that product and they're paying them 35,000 for that same product? What is the uniqueness about that person that has just captured the imagination of the world that they are willing to pay for it? Because the price that people pay for anything is not determined by the seller, it's determined by the buyer. Let me tell you. See this mouse? The buyer could put a price tag on it to say it's 99p. Meanwhile, there's another mouse. Let's say this is another mouse. And the buyer has put a price tag on this one as $12.99. 99p, $12.99. To you and I, people will be crazy to not buy this at 99p and pay $12.99 for this. Now, some degree, maybe there is. But you see, it is not about the price tag that the person who is selling this, the people that are selling this, it's not about the price tag they've put on it. It's the value that the buyer believes that this thing is worth to them that determines what they pay for it. What is your uniqueness? What is so special about you? Can you just start to embrace your uniqueness? How does the problem that you are solving with your life, how is it providing value to some other people now and in future? How? Because if what you are producing is to be consumed now and has without any future benefit, it's not adding value to anybody. How are people in their own eyes? What do they know? How do they know? How do they quantify the value that you are adding to them? Not just in the moment, but over time. How? It's not just in that product. It's in the uniqueness behind that product. Problem solving. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about who is it helping? Who is it adding value to? Because those are the people in whose life and in whose mind you will live perpetually. You must, you need, you should have a clear understanding of who is benefiting from the problem that you are created to solve. Because until you start to solve those problems, those people will forever be in need and be in want and be in lack and be short. But the problems that you solve now with your uniqueness, that has eternal value, continuously adding value to people, that's your legacy. That's what people will remember long after they've forgotten your name. And this is what makes the problem you are solving a lifelong endeavor. Don't just think about it, I'll just do it today and go. No. Where will it be tomorrow? What will people be saying about it 5 years down the line? When you solve problems with your uniqueness, when you bring your uniqueness, when you bring your real self to solving a problem, it becomes a gift that keeps on giving, even long after you're gone. And you can only do that when you embrace your uniqueness, when you know that you are not just a problem solver, but that you are created to solve, to produce, for your life to bring a unique gift to the world. You were born as a solution provider, not a problem solver. They're two different. There's difference between the two. And you know what will happen? The moment you understand that your existence, your person, your uniqueness, your purpose is not to solve problem but to bring solution, you will start to see opportunities everywhere. You will start to see avenues to add values to people, to bring something that will outlast you, to do something that generations yet unborn will enjoy, because you bring your uniqueness to bear. Suddenly, your antennas are just so sharp. They are collecting and picking up signals. Your perspective is broadened. Your life is packed full of, I'm a solution going somewhere to be a blessing, to add value to people. And that will fuel you. It will fill you. It will satisfy you. It will make you happy more than all the money in the Federal Reserve can do for you. Because you are not solving a problem. You are bringing a solution. You are adding values to people. And your joy will be unspeakable, because you are being you. You are bringing to bear your person, your uniqueness, what makes you different, and you're making a difference with it in life. But there's another level to this uniqueness of yours and mine. What we've talked about is you identifying it, embracing it. Make no apologies about it. The next level is what we're about to tap into now. You've probably heard the old saying that if a tree falls in the forest and nobody is around to hear it, does that tree make a noise when it fell? A tree is in the forest, maybe in the middle of the night. No, everybody is at home. The forest is far, far down the bush that way. And a tree fell in the night. Nobody was there to hear the fall. Does the fall of that tree make a noise or not? It's the same thing with your person, with your uniqueness, with who you are. If you know what makes you unique, what makes you special, what makes you different, what makes you you, if you know it, but you are afraid to show it. Does it make any impact on anybody? Does it add value to anybody? Does it make a difference in anybody's life? Nada. But unfortunately, many of us were too afraid to show the world who we are in our true self, to bring to bear our true colors, to bring to the table our person, our uniqueness, our what makes us just who we are. We're too afraid because what would they think? They'll think I'm showing off. They think I'm just proud. They think I'm just this and that. Let them say. Let them say. You see, the world we live in places a very high value on conformity. Everybody just together on the same level. Have you noticed that? Maybe 3, 4 of you are friends and you're doing the same job and living the same way, and then suddenly one of you, somebody had an enlightenment and they decide to just change a little bit and they start to rise. Suddenly, the other 3 are thinking, who does they think he is? We were together in this place. So, I mean, come on. Is it not him? What? Where did this arrogance come from? No, it's not arrogance. It's not a show off. It's his uniqueness. It's her uniqueness that has just seen the light of the day, and he or she is embracing it and not making apologies to your lazy tail. So because the world is very predominantly focusing on everybody conforming and everybody staying at the same level, it can sometimes feel daunting, challenging, frightening, terrifying to embrace and display your uniqueness. But guess what? It is your uniqueness. It is yours. It is yours. You know what they say? If you've got it, show it. If you have it, let's see it. The Bible said nobody lights a candle and then put it under the table. No, they put it on top of the table so that it can bring light to everybody in the room. It can bring brightness and everybody that comes in can see. Let your light shine. And it's not a little light. Let your light shine forth. So if you really want to change the world, your world and the world around you, you have to start by being you and not make apologies about it. You have to start by being your full self, your full original self, your unique self, your special self. You have to start by expressing yourself and be proud of those things that makes you different, and be proud of your uniqueness, of your differences, of the things that set you apart from the crowd. Because the world actually needs different minds to work together. If all of us are the same, this world will be boring. Imagine there are 50 of you, exactly 50 of you living on the same street. How boring would that be? Everywhere you turn, you see yourself. Everywhere you look, you see yourself. Everywhere you go, you see yourself. You're like, come on, bro, get out of my way. This world that we're in needs difference. difference in mind, difference in person, difference in ability, in capacity, in the value, in the things that we bring. We need, let me tell you a story about somebody that brought her uniqueness to the table. And the world. You see, that's the funny thing. When you bring your uniqueness to the table, when you display your person, when excuse me, when you allow what makes you to shine forth, the world will pay attention. But more than that, they will celebrate you. Now there will be some naysayers and some hey, let them say. Just continue to be you. Oh, he's just showing up. And he can't even speak good English. Who cares? English is just a language. Can you speak Ijebu? Let's start with that. Oh, he's just showing up. He's not even tall. Since when has height been the measure of a person? Oh, he just come to this village 2 years ago and now he thinks, yes, because he's brought something that your village doesn't have. Now he's here. He's the light of the village. Celebrate him or her. Thank you, Pastor Gedegbe. I know you can speak. I'm talking about somebody called Temple Gradin. Is an autistic woman, but she overcame the limitation that difference puts on everyone that has it. She said, no, I'm not settling for the status quo of what people said about people who are autistic, they're this, they're that. No. Wait till you see who I am. My real self. When it comes forth, you will pay me to show off. This woman, this lady, this person became an expert in the field of animal husbandry. Now listen to this. Here's a person that the world has labeled as autistic. They have immediately put her in a bracket. You can't be more than this. This is the totality of who you are. This is what you will ever be. This is your identity, no more, no less. She said, no. You've only seen what's outside. Let me bring forth what's on the inside. Then you will know I'm a unique person. Shoot. Her ability to see the world in pictures, with that ability, with that uniqueness, to see the world in pictures rather than in ABCD, to see the world and interpret the world and explain the world in pictorial form, it helped her to create a more humane design for the treatment of cattle in processing plants. And guess what happened? He was awarded a glorious award for that. That is somebody that they were going to put in a hole to say she's autistic, this is what she can be. No, she used that difference, that uniqueness, to bring something that the world was not even thinking about. Don't let anybody belittle, ridicule, condemn, and bury your uniqueness. No. They can bury your car, and bury your shirt, and bury your wig, and burn your house. But what makes you you? What differentiates you from others? The uniqueness that only you carry. Don't let anything pour sand into it. Because that's the real you. So, wow. what is so special about you? I know sometimes when people ask that question, it is to put you down. It's to make you feel less. It's to tell you you don't belong. It's to tell you we're not looking for people like you. They're wrong. They are so wrong they can't see it. They are so wrong they can't even smell the coffee. What's so special about you? If you want to go down that road, you will regret ever asking me that question. Because by the time I start laying it down on you, line upon line, layer upon layer, chapter upon chapter, verse upon verse, page by page, you will regret ever meeting me and asking me, what's so special about you? So how do you identify your uniqueness? How do you embrace it? How do you harness it? How do you bring it to bear to make a difference in your world? What do I have to do? What do you need to do? What can we all do? Because we are all wonderful, fearfully, and extraordinarily made, with specialties, with uniqueness, with a purpose, with something that only you carry. So how do you identify your uniqueness? And once you've identified it, what do you do with it? First, you need to identify that you are special, you are unique. I don't care. It does not matter what they said. Oh, you were an accident. We didn't plan for you. Yeah, you may not have planned for it. But I am a solution provider. There's a problem. There's a solution that only me can provide. And therefore, for this world to be complete and be in peace, I have to come. Because I carry a solution. So, sorry for your no planning, but I have a purpose. What have they said about you? Oh, you are just a dunce. You are just so stupid. You can't become anything. You can't amount to anything. You're not going anywhere. You just like you're there. Let them say. You see, it is not what they say about you that matters. It is what you know about yourself. That's the game changer. Many of the people that we all praise and adore and clap for, people have said things about them. You're just a school dropout. You're just a single mother. You're just an old man. You're going to do that. Yes, let them say, because it is in that uniqueness of yours that your true person start to bubble up, start to come up, start to emerge, start to just create an atmosphere around you, around your world, about you. You become like the salt that seasons the food. Everywhere you go, a sprinkle of you is bringing sweetness, is bringing flavor, is bringing aroma, is bringing something that was not there. Because you are unique, because you are special. Your uniqueness can be found everywhere if you just open your eyes. Your specialty, what is so different about you, is reflected in your personal life, in your personal experience. It comes out in what you pay attention to. It is found in your beliefs, in your hobbies, in your creativity, in your sense of humor, in the way you carry yourself, in the dress you wear. Your uniqueness is everywhere. Just pay attention, you will see it. Your uniqueness is in how you show up every day. Every day. It's how you show up. How people just perk up when they see you. Just pay attention when you show up. Just look straight and try to adjust themselves because you are there. Your uniqueness is found in the world around you, in the places and in the things with which you choose to surround yourself. Your uniqueness is the basic of what sets you apart. Is the thing that you do so naturally and you so love it, and it's just like, this is me. And guess what? Wherever I go, I'll be there. My whole unique self. So once you identify your uniqueness, tune in, hone it, perfect it, polish it, brush it up, shine it, bring it to life. So that everywhere you go, you don't need to say, hello, my name is Tunde Disi. They just know, oh, that unique person is here. It's not because you are trying to show off. It's because your person, your real person is there. The reason a lot of people don't know you is because they don't know you. Today they see you, you are John. Next day they see you, you are Peter. Next day they see you, you are Richard. They're wondering, who are you? But just show up. Hi, my name is Tunde Disi. And the rest is story. Everywhere you go, before you get that, they just know, oh, Tunde Disi is coming. Falake is coming. Gabriel will soon be here. Debbie is on his way. Ray is coming. Faye is here. Priscilla, I can hear your voice. I can just smell Grace's presence even before she walked through the door. Because that's your unique person. That's who you are. Identify what makes you you. Identify it. And you don't need to look far. You don't need to travel far. You don't need to dig so deep. Just look around yourself. Just look around yourself. Can I tell you something? You know why? You know, I know there's a medical side to the issues of life for things like depression and anxiety and worries and concern. And there are other social reasons for it. But can I tell you the truth? All of that, most of that will disappear if you know who you are. The reason a lot of us are struggling with our identity is because we don't know who we are, and we're trying to be like the other person who is not perfect, and we're chasing after their imperfection only to be disappointed that we're not perfect. Guess what? They're not perfect either. And they are the examples that we're running after. Stop trying to be like the Joneses. The Joneses are tired too. They're tired pretending, and you're still struggling to be like them. Meanwhile, your real self, your unique self, your person is left unattended to. Then you wonder why you are not happy. It's simple. When you look around you, you examine your immediate surrounding and your immediate self. When you start to look at yourself from the inside, you'll be amazed, you'll be surprised what you will learn about yourself. Many of us don't know who we are. That's why we hide under the shadow of what we do. Hello, my name is Tunde. I'm a doctor. Who cares whether you're a doctor or a janitor? Who are you as a person, not what you do? What you do is not who you are. What you do is just a job. What you do is just a job. It is not who you are. Number 2, stay curious. Oh, stay curious. One of the best ways to find and harness your uniqueness is by you being curious. Be curious. Oh, Ray, don't get me into this. Why are you going down this route now? Ray Davidson, we will talk. Look, the reason you are saying this, Ray said, but there are people in Winners Dartford who use their work authority as a means of picking on people and bullying them. It's because they don't know who they are. They can only find their identity in their title. Take that title away and they scratching their head because they don't know who they are. If you know who you are, you don't need to put other people down to feel yourself, to raise yourself, to feel good about yourself. You don't. In fact, the best way to feel good about yourself is to add values to others. Make a difference in other people's life. Give them something that only you can give them. So, Ray, I hope I've answered your question. As I was saying, stay curious. Stay curious. Don't accept everything at face value. Find out the why and the how of everything. Why is it that way? Why can it not be this way? Why should it be that way? How? Ask yourself why and how and why and how. And as you do, it will be like the onion ball. Every time you peel a layer, it reveals a brand new layer that is so new, so clean, you don't want to touch it because it's so perfect. And as soon as you peel that off, you see a new one. As soon as you peel that one, you see a new one. When you are curious, when you ask why, when you dig for reason, when you choose not to settle for less and ask for more, you will keep growing. And the more you grow, the more your identity, your uniqueness will be revealed and it will stand out for others to see. Be curious. If you find yourself bored all the time, you are anxious always, you are depressed, you are unfulfilled, you are at loss, you don't know this, there's an answer to that. Become an archaeologist. Yes. But start digging yourself. Start digging what is under this soil about me. What is under this clay about me? What is under this rock about me? Start digging, start digging, start digging. Dig deep, dig deep, deep, deep. Because you're being bored, you're being depressed and feeling unfulfilled. They are not the problem. They are symptoms to something bigger. They are symptoms to the question you have not answered. You are asking yourself this question and you've not been able to answer them. That's why all these other things are showing up in different ways. And the question is, knock, knock, who are you? Knock, knock, who are you? What makes you you? What is special about you? What is unique about you? What is that thing about you that differentiates you? And until you find it, until you know it, until you embrace it, until you celebrate it, you continue to wander and search everywhere. And can I help you as I close with this archaeologist adventure? Just ask yourself 2 questions. Just 2 questions. You really want to know yourself. You really want to dig up your person, your identity, your uniqueness, your the real McCoy of who you are. Ask yourself these two questions. Number one, what is the worst thing that could happen if I pursue and dig to find myself? What's the worst thing that could happen? If I embark on a journey of discovery, of identifying who I am, what's so special about me, what is the worst thing that could happen? Second question, what's the best thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? And what's the worst thing that could happen? When you balance the two, one against the other, nobody will need to convince you. You will be convinced by yourself, but you will be convicted by your own mouth or justified with your own findings. So much so that you will come to the conclusion, well, the best thing that could happen is I will just find myself. And if that is all I do, I think it's worth the journey. And that answer, that conclusion alone will light up on the inside of you. It will blow your mind. It will just raise your expectations to the highest level. And you will think, man, exploring the world is worth every ounce of it. And you will embark on a journey, an adventure of life that will take you to the uttermost part of this world. And no money in this world can buy you. When you listen to your own intuition, when you listen to yourself, when you speak to yourself from within yourself, you will live a happy, self-described, remarkable, and unconventional life. Because the path that is less traveled makes all the difference, and it can do that for you and bring you joy unspeakable. As I close, it is better to be true to yourself. It is better to be true to yourself and love who you are than for you to try to conform to what other people have said and other people's perspective of you and other people's idea and other people's this and that. No. Be happy in yourself. Be happy with yourself. Be happy by yourself. Be happy for yourself. But it starts with you. Knowing, understanding, embracing, and just celebrating the fact that you're special. That you are special. That you are unique. That you are wonderful. That you are complete. That there is nothing wrong with you. Because you are made to bring solution. A solution to this world. And the world will never be a better place until you deliver that solution. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you, friends and colleagues, for being part of tonight's program. Unfortunately, I can't finish everything I prepared, but we're not going anywhere. I'll be here again next week. But if you've forgotten everything I've said tonight, I need you to remember this. are special. You are special. You, even you, are special. Thank you so much. Tell somebody, share this program with somebody, send it to somebody. Somebody needs to hear it from you that you are special. And as we do that, as we do that one to another, we're helping one another become better men and better women. And there is no telling where the seed that you are sowing now, you will meet the fruit. You will harvest the fruit and you will enjoy the reward thereof. God bless you. I'll see you again next week.